Good morning. It's 3 minutes after 10, and it could be pretty much any day since Boris Johnson became Mayor of London, at least as far as this programme is concerned. Because once again, and that was back in 2008, some of you weren't even born in 2000, including some of my colleagues. And how many times since then have we turned our attention to the question of either how does he keep getting away with it? 03456060973. Is this the end of the line for the most scandal-ridden politician in living memory? 03456060973. Why do people keep enabling him and facilitating him? Why do people like Dominic Raab keep debasing themselves on national television and radio in defence of somebody who is clearly and incontrovertibly indefensible? 03456060973. I could go on. In fact, I frequently do, and today I probably will. But the question remains the same. This is off the scale. I'm afraid, asking the question again. Don't hold me to this. You know what I'm like. I say something like this on a Tuesday, and by Friday I've forgotten. But I don't think I'm going to ask again, how can anybody still be supporting him? Because I know the answer to that question. If you're supporting him because you're in politics, you're in cabinet or in office, it's because you're fairly confident that you wouldn't be able to get a job shuffling deck chairs on the Titanic under any other prime minister. And if you're supporting him and you're not in Parliament or you're not in the Parliamentary Conservative Party, I'm afraid it's because you're a complete cult. There's no two ways about that anymore. You've fallen for some bizarre personality cult, and you have debased yourself and denied reality and lied to yourself now, probably originally about the reality of Brexit. You certainly weren't lying to yourself or debasing yourself when you voted for it, but now that you can see exactly what it is that was in the box you bought, and it's a load of rancid old tat, you are desperately trying to convince yourself that you haven't bought a load of rancid old tat, and that all those people you spent years being rude about were completely right all along. You have to keep supporting Boris Johnson, because the alternative is to look that reflection in that mirror squarely in the face and acknowledge exactly what has been done to you. And that might sound a little unkind, but I do feel a modicum of sympathy for you still. But the question of how can you still be supporting this man, this serial philanderer, this blatant liar, this pathological deceiver, this despicable individual, how can you still be supporting him? That question isn't interesting anymore. Not to me, at least. It's not psychologically interesting. It's not politically interesting. I mean, you're pretty close to needing help, I would argue, if you still think that this is either normal or acceptable. You're also profoundly unpatriotic, whatever Liz Truss may try to tell you, because if you are still cheering or even sitting idly by while our country is turned into a clown car, while the skip fire rages ever more out of control, then you are complicit in that catastrophe. You are complicit in this chaos. You are part of it, and you are culpable. And yet you sit there claiming that the people who are desperate to see an end to this self-inflicted misery and these myriad catastrophes and these egregious scandals, somehow they're the ones that are not prioritising their country above personal advancement, personal interest or ambition, or, of course, just petty political point scoring.